Good evening. This is CapitalPrime, and tonight we need to talk about what happened in Minneapolis on Saturday morning. Because what started as a routine immigration enforcement operation has now become a flashpoint in American democracy. A story about what happens when federal power meets local resistance, when official narratives clash with video evidence, and when a 37-year-old intensive care nurse becomes the center of a national controversy he didn't live to see. His name was Alex Pretti, and what happened to him and what the government has said about him since demands our attention. Let's start with who this man actually was, because that matters. That context matters. Alex Jeffrey Pretti was 37 years old. He worked as an intensive care nurse at the Minneapolis VeteransAffairs Medical Center, caring for America's veterans in their most vulnerable moments. Born in Illinois, raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin, he'd made Minneapolis his home. And the people who knew him may paint a picture of someone who showed up. A former colleague described him as someone who put people at ease within minutes, quick with a joke, always asking, "What can I do to help?" A man named Mac Randolph shared something deeply personal. Pretti had cared for his father, an Air Force veteran, during his final days in December 2024. Randolph posted a video showing Pretti delivering his father's final salute at the VA. In that video, Pretti says something that now echoes with tragic irony. Today, we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it. Protect it, and even sacrifice for it. Remember those words. Now let's talk about January 24th, 2026. Just before 9 a.m. in South Minneapolis, federal Border Patrol agents are conducting what they call an immigration enforcement operation. It's part of something called OperationMetroSurge, the largest federal immigration operation ever conducted, with 3,000 agents deployed to Minneapolis. And here's where our story really begins. Multiple videos, verified by ABC News, Reuters, The Wall Street Journal, show us what happened. And what they show contradicts, fundamentally, the story federal officials have told. The timeline, according to these videos, starts at least 3 minutes before the shooting. Alex Pretti is on Nicollet Avenue, holding up his phone, recording federal officers. He appears to be documenting what's happening, exercising what many of us would recognize as a basic right in America. Video shows federal agents pepper spraying Pretti, shows them pushing him toward the sidewalk, shows him continuing to hold up his phone as agents detain someone and move them into a vehicle. Then the situation escalates. Pretti appears to step between a federal agent and a woman the agent had pushed to the ground. He puts his arm around the woman, and then multiple federal agents tackle him, wrestle him to the ground. At least 6 agents surround him on the pavement. And here's where the video evidence becomes critical. One agent is seen emerging from the scrum with a gun, appearing to take it away from Pretti. That agent moves away from the scene. Less than a second later, another agent fires 10 shots in less than 5 seconds. That's according to forensic audio analysis. Alex Pretti was declared dead at the scene. So that's what the videos show. Now, let's talk about what the Department of Homeland Security says happened. According to DHS, Pretti approached Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun and attacked them. When officers tried to disarm him, he violently resisted. An agent, fearing for his life, fired defensive shots. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem went further. She said Pretti had arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement. Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, called Pretti a domestic terrorist who had tried to assassinate federal law enforcement. He said this hours after the shooting, before any investigation had occurred. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino echoed this narrative, calling it a situation where an individual wanted to massacre law enforcement. In a CNN interview the next day, Bovino said, and I want you to hear this carefully, The victims are the Border Patrol agents. The victims are the Border Patrol agents. But here's what the videos don't show. They don't show Pretti brandishing a gun. They don't show him approaching agents in a threatening manner. What they show is Pretti holding a cell phone. What they show is an agent removing what appears to be Pretti's gun just before another agent opens fire. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara confirmed that Pretti was a licensed legal gun owner with no criminal record, just some traffic violations from over a decade ago. In Minnesota, open carry is legal with a valid permit. 2 witnesses filed sworn statements in federal court. A doctor who witnessed the shooting said Pretti sustained at least 3 gunshot wounds in his back. Pretti's family released a statement calling the government's characterization of their son reprehensible and disgusting. They said Alex was clearly not holding a gun when attacked. He had his phone in his right hand and his empty left hand raised above his head while trying to protect a woman who'd been pushed down, all while being pepper sprayed. Now, context. This was the second fatal shooting of an American citizen by federal agents in Minneapolis this month. Earlier in January, a woman named Renee Good was killed when a federal agent fired into her vehicle. Out of 3 homicides in Minneapolis so far in 2026, 2 were committed by federal immigration enforcement agents. Let that sink in for a moment. The Minneapolis Police Department recovered 900 guns last year, arrested hundreds of violent offenders, and according to Chief O'Hara, didn't shoot anyone all year. Federal agents have been in Minneapolis for weeks now. They've deployed tear gas and stun grenades at protesters. They've blocked local police and Minnesota state investigators from accessing crime scenes, even after the state obtained a search warrant. A federal judge had to issue a temporary restraining order to prevent the destruction of evidence. Governor TimWalz activated the Minnesota National Guard and demanded that President Trump end the operation. He called the federal government's immediate characterization of Pretti nonsense after reviewing the videos. So here's where we are tonight. A 37-year-old ICU nurse who dedicated his life to caring for America's veterans is dead. Federal officials called him a domestic terrorist before investigating what happened. Video evidence appears to contradict the official narrative at multiple points, and state and local officials are being blocked from conducting their own investigation. Former Presidents Obama and Clinton have called on Americans to take action. Republican lawmakers are demanding a full investigation. President Trump has accused Minnesota officials of inciting insurrection for criticizing federal operations. And in Minneapolis, thousands of people have gathered at makeshift memorials. Children are staying home from school. Families are avoiding religious services. Immigrant neighborhoods have shuttered their businesses. Because when federal agents can shoot an American citizen holding a cell phone, call him a terrorist, and face no immediate accountability, when the official version of events contradicts what multiple cameras captured, people notice, people remember. Alex Pretti said freedom requires sacrifice. Tonight, Minneapolis is asking, what kind of country requires this sacrifice? That's our story. Stay informed. Stay engaged. This is Capital Prime.